My name is Phil Bowers. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Grandstream. I'm also joined here today by Chris Dow from our sales team and Hugh Wynn. Yes, Hugh, I said your name correct for the second day in a row, who is our Director of Technical Support. So those guys will also be able to, especially when we get to the Q&A, help us answer any questions that might be more sales or technically related. As Angela mentioned, the topic of our webinar here today, and we're always really excited to pair up with our friends at StreakWave to put on these webinars. And today we're focusing on our remote work and collaboration solutions. To kind of preface what we're going to talk about here today, it's actually it is the most popular webinar topic that maybe we've ever had. And obviously, within the last couple of months, a lot of the situation of the world, obviously, with COVID-19 has changed quite a bit. And it is not only just temporarily having a major impact on the way that companies work and the way that their workforce is dispersed, but it certainly has the potential, and I believe it will have major impacts on the way that offices are designed and the way companies do disperse their workforce going forward. Simply put, I think we're going to see a lot more remote working and a lot more companies relying on a remote workforce. So what we're focusing on here today is really, that can initially kind of seem like a little bit of an overwhelming change, especially from, in an industry that has, I don't want to say it's largely been the same, but relied on the traditional kind of in-office communication system for a while. The main point, if you get anything out of today's webinar, is that all of the solutions that you're already using as a technology installer, reseller, service provider, managed service provider, whatnot, all of those same solutions can also be used to create remote work and collaboration solutions. And that's mainly what we're the main point of what we're showing you here today. So don't be overwhelmed by it. There's a lot of stuff you already know and already are using that can be deployed to create these remote work environments. And one of the greatest things about the way that we do our business at Grandstream, being a full solution provider, not just focusing on IP phones, for example, we pretty much offer every product or solution you're going to need to do that. So let's get started here. Usually this topic, I'm going to try to keep this around 40 minutes, give or take a little bit. You'll see as we get into it, there's a lot of different stuff. I'm going to do my best to kind of cover everything in a way that gives you enough details, but that doesn't drag on. So without further ado, let's go here. So let me just click so I can change. So here's what we got on the agenda. Going to start off by just giving you a couple of basic, tidbits or insights from our side on remote work considerations and kind of how to approach building them. Then we'll give you an overview of our solutions and break them down into 3 different categories: meetings and conferences, VoIP solutions, Wi-Fi network, and VPNs. Give you some vertical industry examples at the end, and then we'll get into the Q&A. So definitely any questions you have, we can definitely take all of that in the Q&A. So before we get into the Grandstream specific products or solutions that will help you build remote work setups, let's just kind of introduce the topic with 4 considerations. And these, if you've maybe attended a previous webinar that we've had on this topic, or if you've viewed the remote solutions guide we have put out, you'll see that we've been pretty consistent with these 4 points here. So the first one is that from what we see, or actually I already mentioned this, a lot of the communications technology we use on a daily basis already supports remote use. So it's not like you need a whole different set of technology to sell endpoint services, whatnot. You're just using this same stuff in a different way. Number 2 is that, and I think this one has changed a little bit. It says businesses don't want to purchase equipment that they already have. I might amend this a little bit to say, focus on equipment that can go between a remote environment and an office environment, because likely that's, I think, what we're looking at is you'll have businesses that are either entirely remote or have employees that are entirely remote, or that have the ability to go from the office to the home environment and back. And if you focus on new equipment that might not already be in the business's office, that is stuff that they can use at home to deploy a remote environment, and stuff that can also come back and complement their office solution later. Specifically here, I think we're talking about the best example are Wi-Fi IP phones, which is something relatively new for a lot of businesses. We're going to cover a lot about that there today. So these devices would be, especially the cordless or the video Wi-Fi devices, would be things that would be new additions to their office solution that they don't already have, that are also devices that are ideal for use in the home or in the remote environment. And then the fourth thing here is, and we have a solution for this that we'll mention. Don't forget about the need to provision, monitor, and manage these remote devices. It's not just the initial set it up and send it out. Especially in a remote environment, you're going to want to have a protocol or a platform in place to be able to monitor and manage those devices in an ongoing basis. So with that, let's get into Grandstream stuff. So the main point of this presentation really is that we do provide a wide range of remote solutions. A lot of the stuff that you already know and are familiar with from Grandstream are some great options to allow you to build remote work or remote collaboration environments. And to kind of make it easy and to provide a structure for this presentation, broken it up into 3 different categories. First, meetings and conferences. Honestly, that is probably the most popular, the most in demand at the moment. Number 2, VoIP, and all the different voice and video endpoints, as well as our UCM series of IP PBXs, the whole combination of which we'll cover and gives you a lot of different options to build remote solutions in a lot of different ways that are best for whatever the team or the company needs. And then also we'll finish off with the telling you about how you can use our GWN series of networking equipment. Specifically one AP that we offer that is, I think, great for home environments, as well as our cloud management system to be able to monitor those remote Wi-Fi networks. So I'm going to start off here with meetings and conferences. And as you'll see as we go, the main thing to get across here on the meetings and conferencing side is that whatever you or your customers are most comfortable with, we can offer you. And what do I mean by that? We have IP Video Talk, which is a cloud web meeting platform. So if you want a easy to use cloud platform that allows you to access that on computers and smart devices from anywhere, IP Video Talk is a great option. If you're looking to potentially expand existing video conferencing solutions by adding additional conference rooms, or even by putting maybe a cost-effective but higher-end video device in somebody's home office who might be hosting a lot of meetings or webinars or whatnot, we have our GVC series, and those devices will work on any third-party SIP or H323 platform. And then if you're looking to build an entire platform like what we offer with the IP Video Talk cloud platform, we have IPVT10, which is an on-premise server, basically gives you a whole collaboration platform on a server that you put on your network and put behind your own firewall that you have full control over. So I'm going to go through real fast and kind of break these 3 down and give you a quick intro into them. I'm just going to take a quick drink of water here. All right, so first we have IP Video Talk. So IP Video Talk is our web meetings platform. It is, I believe, it is approaching just about 4 years that it has been out on the market at this point. Originally, when we created this, and for most of the lifetime of IP Video Talk, it's been mainly marketed as a cloud platform that would allow you to link our GVC hardware devices. It has always had the web meetings functionality built into it, and essentially what we did in March was completely change the way that we market this platform and the way the plans are created to focus more on web meetings. So IP Video Talk is a really powerful web meeting platform. Gives you the ability to host remote team meetings, virtual classrooms, telehealth consultations, online fitness classes, whatnot. There are 3 different plans that offer web meetings that can be attended, as you see there, on literally any device, PCs, Macs, through web browsers, or through our client software, or Android and iOS devices through our free mobile IP Video Talk mobile app for Android and iOS. Honestly, the best way for me to describe this is a great alternative to Zoom. It's going to give you, not pretty much, it's going to give you all the features and functionality of Zoom. In many cases, you're going to see that we are actually able to offer you support for more video feeds, for more participants at a lot of the plans. And we're going to, and our plans were actually created, when I say created, they were priced to beat Zoom. And obviously, you know, I don't have to go on for too long about all the security issues out there with Zoom. As I mentioned, IP Video Talk is a platform we've had out for 4 years, and can confidently say there are no security issues with it. We have a variety of protocols built in to, you know, prevent Zoom bombing or whatnot. So if you're looking for a web meetings platform like Zoom, but yeah, if you're looking for a web meetings platform but Zoom, but you want something that is frankly a better alternative to that, a more secure alternative with a little bit higher capacity in many of the features and participants, IP Video Talk is a great option. It does also give you the ability to, now or in the future, integrate our GVC series hardware devices with it. If you remember anything about IP Video Talk, we do offer a free basic plan for it that gives you, supports up to 50 participants and 49 video feeds. So you can sign up for a fully free plan with 50 participants and 49 video feeds. And you could even integrate a GVC series in-room device with with that free basic plan. So that's IP Video Talk. Go check it out, ipvideotalk.com. Again, web meetings platform, great alternative to a Zoom platform. So moving along on the video conferencing side, just told you about cloud platform for web meetings and web video conferences. Here we have our GVC series, and these we have seen in this environment really used with, I'd say, enterprises, governments, and schools, which are the examples that you see here. These devices are really great for implementing or expanding a, you know, traditional video conferencing setup, which I know a lot of enterprises are increasing the conference rooms or the access that they have to these, we'll call them boardroom style video conferencing. The picture that you see here on this slide is actually Pedro Sanchez, the president of, the prime minister of Spain. And they are using, you see, a GVC series device with our GAC 2500 Android conference phone and and it's running IP Video Talk, the platform I just told you about. And they've been using that platform throughout the pandemic to hold cabinet meetings and to kind of plan Spain's response to it. So that's a really great option. It gives you, if you're looking to support that more high-end traditional boardroom style video conferencing, the GVC series is a great option. It obviously supports IP Video Talk that I mentioned earlier. Also can be integrated with our IPVT10 server, which I'll show you on the next screen. But the main point here is that these are open source SIP devices. They will work with any third-party SIP platform. They also run H.323 and will work with any H.323 platform. Maybe more specifically for a business environment, the GVC 3210, which is a 4K Wi-Fi Android-based video conferencing device that it basically, because of its compact size, the Wi-Fi that it offers, great option for adding a more formal video option for home, for a home office, for somebody that might be hosting a lot of meetings or webinars and needs to have some pretty good video quality. That GVC 3210 comes in at a sub $1,000 MSRP. to give you that really high end with the 4K support, as well as the Wi-Fi and the ability to work with any Android app or platform in addition to SIP and H.323. So that's the GVC series. If you're looking for in-room devices or more formal devices for remote meetings, or to link up offices, or to link up executives, just to give a couple of examples, these devices are great for that and will work with pretty much any platform that you're may be using or may switch to in the future. And to wrap up the meetings and conferencing section of our presentation here today, we've got we've got IPv10, which I will fully admit, I think a lot of people are not actually familiar with this product or that it even exists. And granted, it is certainly a little bit more of a high-end product, and that is probably why. So what IPv10 is it takes everything that we offer with IP Video Talk. So basically, it gives you a whole video and web collaboration platform packaged on an on-premise server. That's mainly the difference with this product. So if you would prefer something on your own network that you have full control over in terms of building a conferencing or collaboration platform or web meeting platform, IPv10 is the perfect option for you. Again, excuse me, takes all the functionality of our web meetings platform. IP Video Talk puts it on an on-premise server, supports up to 300 participants, schedule hosts and 10 meetings from all the same devices as you get with IP Video Talk, which is pretty much any device, most browsers, PSTN and VoIP dial, and also the ability to support our GVC in-room devices as well. So this is probably, a good option for an enterprise or for a school district or for a larger healthcare organization or government, somebody that wants to create a larger scale conferencing or collaboration platform that they have full control on their network. IPv10 is a great option. Just gonna take a quick drink of water here. All right. So now we move on to what is probably the, traditionally I would say this is the main part, the main offering from Grandstream. This is traditionally what we're known for, VoIP solutions. And many of these, I think all of these, we've told you about in previous webinars, and hopefully most of these products you've used or are familiar with. And so like I mentioned earlier, we're not necessarily saying that you need different equipment to create these remote environments. It's just using the equipment differently and looking at the feature sets a little bit differently than you did before. So real quickly here, I'm over the next couple of slides gonna go through all of the devices you see here on the screen, kind of tell you why they're great for remote environments, what specific features they offer that make them easy to deploy and use in a home environment. We're gonna start off with the UCM series of IP PBXs. These are we've had these devices out 2013 or 2014, so it's 6 or 7 years now. In that time, they've become some of the most popular on-premise IP PBXs in the world. They run asterisk, and I think the main point here is a lot of times we kind of forget, I think just by being in this industry, what an IP PBX actually is. And as it tells you in that first bullet point, it allows you to create a virtual communications network. It is a unified communications manager. At least that's what our UCM is. A lot of IP PBXs traditionally are just voice servers, where our device gives you full voice support, full video support, and a variety of data mobility features, in addition to integration with third-party CRMs and property management systems and whatnot. So again, it is a virtual unified communications manager. You can create solutions that can be accessed and used remotely. Obviously, in a lot of cases with devices, you're creating them as SIP extensions, and then you're just from wherever the device is going to be used, you're just allowing that device to connect back to the centralized UCM. And obviously, there's a couple of different security protocols or ideal ways to set that up, and maybe that's something that could be a future webinar or a topic for the Q&A. But so the device, our PBXs do support remote devices, does give you the ability to remotely provision devices and deploy them through that centralized web UI, supports video calling and conferencing, where you could just add video endpoints as extensions and they can call within each other. And in that case, some of our GVC series devices actually have video conferencing hosting ability built right into them. So you wouldn't even need a separate device or servers to be able to hold video conferences if you were just going point to point with Grandstream devices. One of the best things here is we do support multiple concurrent SIP registrations. So you do have the ability to have, something that might be registered to a device in the office, also registered to a soft phone application, also registered to a physical phone at in the person's home office. Can build VPN tunnels from home offices to UCMs to create that even more secure connection between the two. And the last bullet point there regarding scanning a barcode to set up Grandstream Wave, which is our mobile soft phone app. I'm actually going to talk about that in a couple of moments when we get to Grandstream Wave. Take another quick drink of water here. All right. So now we get to the GXV series, and in my opinion, this is the best device that we offer, maybe one of the best devices on the market for remote users or for home workers. We have seen in the last couple of months these GXV series devices, which were already great sellers for us, have become one of the best selling product series that we have. I mean, just look at these things. It literally combines, and the way that I've always described it, combines an IP phone with a desktop video conferencing or video calling platform and the full functionality of an Android tablet. So this device is literally the ideal productivity device, communications device for home workers. Gives you the ability to support device-to-device video calls just built right into it. As point-to-point video calls. They're also Android devices, so they're going to give you the ability to have full access to the Google Play Store, download and use any Android app to hold video calls or whatnot, conferences with other employees or clients or whatnot. And that Android functionality just again allows this device to essentially be operated and serve as an Android tablet. Join meetings, attend webinars, chat with friends with popular apps, stay connected with Google services. For example, integrate Google Calendar, Gmail, Google Contacts, all of that, full web browser built into it. So, I mean, it's just such a powerful device. And the one thing that it doesn't actually stay here on the slide, it doesn't. This supports Wi-Fi, the whole GXV series. There are 3 models. You see the 3380 here on the screen. It's obviously, that is kind of the flagship within the series. 8-inch touchscreen, really sleek looking, shiny black design to it as well. So these devices have Wi-Fi built in, which makes them even easier to install and even better for remote usage. Take them around, use them in different parts of the house, take it from the office to the house, back and forth. Full video calling engine built into it. It can natively support 3-way video calls from device to device, in addition to being able to call with Android or SIP video calling or video conferencing apps. And another great feature of this device is the last bullet point that you see down there at the bottom. It allows you to create a really powerful yet very cost-effective home video conferencing solution. The 3380 specifically gives you HDMI input and output and supports 1080 full HD 1080p input and output. So what that would allow you to do is to connect this with the HDMI out to a TV that might be on the wall in a small huddle room, conference room, somebody's office, living room, whatnot. The device has, as you can see at the top, it's got a 2-megapixel camera built into it. So by doing that, you've got a full screen, large TV screen video conferencing setup with this by pairing this device and using the HDMI output to the TV and the camera on the device. It's also got Bluetooth, so you could sync it up with Bluetooth headsets or Bluetooth wireless speakers and microphones. Lots of different stuff here. Could have a whole, I was going to say we could have a whole webinar. We have done whole webinars just on this product and all the different remote work it offers. We have seen a lot of telehealth deployments with this for, mainly the video calling that it offers. We have a couple of case studies out there that is pretty, in addition to the traditional business setup, this has been huge within the healthcare industry to create telehealth solutions. That is the GXV series. I see that we're about 26 minutes after the hour, so I'm going a little slower than I thought. We'll try to pick that up. So now we're getting into, and actually now that I think about it, we probably have, for the most part, covered the meat of what we're going to talk about here today. So we're in, I don't want to say the home stretch, but we're getting there. Just to give you an idea of where we're at. So the WP series, these are our cordless Wi-Fi IP phones. We believe, and what we're seeing is that these are really popular for remote workers. They are, because of their, very compact, lightweight, and Wi-Fi access. Something that I should have mentioned earlier, and another thing to keep in mind with all these Wi-Fi endpoints for remote workers, is a lot of homes they're not set up to be able to offer you a wired connection. A lot of homes, the only option they have to connect anything directly is into the cable modem that they have, or the router that they have. And in a lot of cases, if you're getting it from a cable company, as I can tell you myself, those will only give you maybe one port that you can actually use. So for a lot of home users, it's just a lot easier to set it up and to continue using SIP phones at home through Wi-Fi. All homes, for the most part, are going to have a Wi-Fi environment, a Wi-Fi network already set up. Makes it really quick and easy to set it up. You can have the devices remotely provisioned, zero touch, which I'll tell you about when we get to the device management screen or device management slide. Have the devices then mailed out or sent out to the remote workers. They just have to connect it to their Wi-Fi network, and it will automatically be configured for their use. One thing that, and another advantage with Wi-Fi phones, both at home and in the office, is their ability to roam and have a connection anywhere within a Wi-Fi network, or anywhere a Wi-Fi network is available, which is pretty much going to be the entirety of most offices and most homes. And the reason why this is in addition to being, just really ideal for use and setup in the home environment, a lot of businesses currently aren't going to have a cordless Wi-Fi environment in the office, which, as office environments become more mobile and we need to, frankly, stay away from each other a little bit. The ability to have this kind of cordless Wi-Fi phone that somebody could roam around their house with or roam around the office with is, a great addition that an office isn't already going to have, while giving you a device that's great for home usage as well. Lightweight, compact, easy to transport, easy to ship. One thing that you see on the screen that I should have mentioned on the last screen, but I'll mention it here. All of our Wi-Fi enabled endpoints have an open VPN client built into it. So if you have a company VPN that you want your users to connect to with these Wi-Fi devices, that open VPN client is just built right into these devices. Another great thing that's great about the WP series for remote environments is that it gives you 2 lines and gives you push to talk. So the 2 lines obviously just gives it the ability to handle 2 different calls at the same time. But the push to talk is potentially a great option for remote teams, and that it would give them the ability, especially a remote sales team, for example, give them the ability to push a button and instantly communicate with each other, or send a message out to the whole team that everyone can kind of hear and have a conversation with, which is a great feature that I think kind of gets overlooked quite a bit for the home environment. As I mentioned earlier, these are great because they are, most offices are not going to have a wireless voice, or specifically a Wi-Fi voice network in place, and this will give you the ability to expand the office network while having great options that are really kind of ideal for home usage. One second. All right, had to take another quick drink of water. Last bullet point there, and then we'll move on to the next series of devices, which I believe is our GRP series. In early April, we launched our WP810. So there are two models within the WP series, the WP820, which has been out for, I believe, almost just about 2 years at this point, the WP810, which I would say is a more cost-effective version of the WP820. And really the great thing about the WP810 is because of the price point that it's able to offer you, it begins to make Wi-Fi voice, which traditionally has been seen by a lot of businesses as too expensive. The WP810 price point makes a Wi-Fi voice, cordless Wi-Fi voice network compete directly with DECT solutions. DECT is, kind of the traditional tried and true wireless VoIP, wireless voice for most offices. However, as many of you know, and I actually think I'm going to cover DECT on the next screen, so kind of killing myself here, but DECT is a little bit limited in terms of its ability to roam. You have to stay within the range of the base station. Each base station can usually only support a certain amount of handsets and can usually only support a couple of concurrent calls because of the limited voice channels within DECT. But it's always kind of been advantageous because of its price point. The WP810 is going to make a Wi-Fi voice network compete really directly in terms of price with a DECT solution. And it's going to offer you, much easier integration, much easier roaming because it'll work on, any Wi-Fi network, and most businesses are already going to have a Wi-Fi network. Wi-Fi is much stronger, much better technology than DECT that is more secure and able to really handle a lot more capacity than you're going to get with the DECT solution. So if you've been kind of ignoring Wi-Fi voice over the years, maybe because you thought it was too complicated or it was too expensive, definitely take a look at it and look at this WP810. I think it's going to make your life a lot easier. So now, as I mentioned, we'll move over to the WP series. And as it tells you, the WP series, DP series, this is our DECT phone series. This is, as I mentioned, tried and true wireless voice technology, affordable wireless phones for remote workers. I would say that a DECT device, is really, because of its affordability, a good option to offer a dedicated voice wireless network within a user's or within a home, because of the price point that it offers. Gives you the ability to roam around the home. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit limited. You have to stay within the range of the base station, but our base stations are going to give you a 50-meter indoor range, and that should pretty much cover any home or apartment. Just like the Wi-Fi phone series, lightweight, compact, easy to transport. Same thing with each handset gives you 10 lines. So that's one thing that maybe you would get with the specs of our DECT phones is those extra line support. So maybe if you have like a sales team that's handling a lot of incoming calls, these devices would give you the ability to support up to 10 lines. Also gives you the push to talk that you're going to get that I mentioned with our WP series, which is great for sales teams as well. Another great feature that makes these great for remote sales teams is the ring group, hunt group feature that they offer, giving you the ability to make sure that all incoming calls are distributed in a certain way or to everyone so that every call can be picked up. And if this was the option for creating a remote dedicated wireless voice environment, a lot of businesses still, even with DECT, don't have an in-office wireless network, and this would give you the ability to also expand that in the future. So the WP series, a little bit more high quality, wide ranging, easy to install wireless phones, a little bit higher quality, a little bit better security. Traditionally a little bit more expensive than DECT, and DECT, as I just mentioned, really great in terms of the affordability that it offers. while basically just giving you a dedicated wireless voice network that isn't gonna, dedicated wireless voice network. All right. 36 minutes after, actually should be able to wrap up here within the next 10 minutes, or at least that's what I will attempt to do here. The stuff that requires the longest explanation, I believe we've pretty much covered already. So now we get on to our GRP series, and these are our newer series of desktop IP phones. And the reason why these are ideal for remote workers is because most of these devices do have Wi-Fi built into it. Again, another Wi-Fi enabled voice device. Makes it very easy to deploy, very easy to install on the home network. Also makes it very easy to move between the home and the office network and back. And really, we're seeing these devices be really popular. Obviously, the Wi-Fi, but a lot of people just kind of want to recreate the familiar look and feel of their office at home. They've gotten used to, working with the traditional desktop IP phone, and this is ideal for that while giving it a number of, I'll call them next generation features that are ideal for remote use. I mentioned the Wi-Fi. Majority of these devices have Bluetooth built into them, so you can easily pair with a Bluetooth headset or a Bluetooth speaker microphone. All of these devices are going to have multiple pages of virtual private keys, which allows you to extend presence to remote workers. A couple of devices, like the 2614 that you see in the picture, have 2 LCD screens. So for those that are remote, that want to keep in touch with and keep up with and want the presence that they're used to, it's another great option for these. I mentioned the Bluetooth. These devices have dedicated endpoint hacking protection, which is a further ideal for remote use because, or like all our other Wi-Fi enabled endpoints, these devices have an open VPN client, which make it easy to set up with existing VPN networks. But again, really the point with these guys is recreating the familiar look and feel of the office at home while offering I don't want to call it a traditional desktop IP phone, but the look and feel of the traditional desktop IP phone with a number of features that are great for remote workers or for moving the device between home and office. Wi-Fi, built-in Bluetooth, all those presence features that I mentioned, the OpenVPN client, just to name a few. So that is the GRP series. Our HT series. This is quick and easy to cover. The HT series are our analog telephone adapters. Just to give you a little bit of background on them, it is the very first product that we ever created. Grandstream was founded in early 2002, creating around building ATAs and IP phones. As you can imagine, or as you see, we've expanded quite a bit since then. But so we believe that we are the worldwide leading manufacturer of analog telephone adapters. And in the case of remote workers, they allow you to, if somebody has an analog or a digital phone or fax machine at home, this just allows you to add it back to your VoIP network and add a lot of those VoIP features to these analog devices, three-way voice conferencing, forward, all that kind of stuff. And these can be easily remotely deployed and managed with TR-069 or and XML config. So those are our HT series of ATAs to integrate, existing analog or digital devices that workers might have at home back with the office. Now we're getting into Grandstream Wave. And Grandstream Wave, for those of you that might not be familiar with it, this is our free soft phone application. It allows you, by downloading this app, to access any SIP account, not just those registered to our UCM, any SIP account on any Android or iOS devices, and it supports up to 6 different SIP accounts. So this basically allows you to access your VoIP calling or your SIP accounts for any employee or any business on an Android or iOS device. It's a fully free app. It's ideal in remote cases for remote workers because in this case, you wouldn't even have to deploy a phone for them. Just have them download the app. Great for teachers, great for delivery people, great for medical to communicate with each other in the facility and outside the facility, great for the government workers as everyone is so spread out right now. We have preloaded configuration settings in Grandstream Wave for hundreds of service providers to make it even quicker and easier to set up. The app does support 6-way conferencing, has a presence page with BLF speed dial, and a lot more. And as I mentioned earlier, specifically if you're using this app with any SIP account on our UCM series of PBXs, you can enable users to very easily set this up by having the UCM series email the user a barcode. All they have to do is download Grandstream Wave app, scan the barcode with the barcode scanner within the app, and it will automatically configure their SIP account on their app. So that makes it quick and easy to deploy this and to use this. Go into the UCM, have it auto-generate an email to send to the user. They just got to scan it and they're up and running. So that's Grandstream Wave. Our free soft phone app will work on any SIP account. But obviously, as I just mentioned, it's a little bit optimized to work with SIP accounts registered to our UCM series. So the last section here of the VoIP part of our presentation, and as I mentioned, and in the fourth thing to remember when we started, it's not only just using these devices or thinking about these devices in as being used in remote scenarios. It's also deploying them, managing them on an ongoing basis, and providing maintenance tools for these remote devices. And we offer the Grandstream Device Management System, which is ideal for this. GDMS is short, stands for Grandstream Device Management System. You can sign up at gdms.cloud. This is a fully free remote cloud device management system specifically for Grandstream products. Really, the target of this is IT teams and network managers for SMBs, enterprises, medical, and much more. Gives you a cloud provisioning, management, monitoring, and maintenance platform for all Grandstream endpoints. Again, this is not just provisioning, and I'll give you an example of how great this is for provisioning in a second. This is an ongoing monitoring tool. This will, on an ongoing basis, in real time, monitor all your devices, provide you real-time reports, real-time alerts, and the ability to fix issues with various maintenance tasks automatically in real time. So one of the best things about GDMS, and I guess primarily the initial reason we came out with it, is to allow devices to be deployed in a true zero-touch configuration fashion. And this specifically now is great for deploying remote devices to remote users. So in that case, what you would use GDMS to do is the IT administrator would go onto the centralized web-based GDMS portal, configure the SIP account with that device. They don't even have to touch the device. The device can be shipped out to the user. The user just has to open the device, connect it to their wired or wireless network, and it will automatically pick up the config from GDMS. That quick and that easy. So that's a remote deployment scenario, but it also allows you zero-touch configuration and deployment in any definition you can think of that solution for all Grandstream products. And for those of you that might be using the UCM series and you're wondering what is, this are the two meant to coexist? What is GDMS? What can it do for UCM users? It's a great ongoing tool for ongoing management of UCM devices. It makes it a little bit easier to set up for remote management, remote deployment, and remote maintenance, because it doesn't require the port forwarding to set up remote access like the first scenario that I gave you would do. It actually gives you more real-time alerts than you're going to get with UCM. It gives you some extra maintenance tools and reports. So if you're using the UCM series, definitely recommend also pairing GDMS as kind of a companion management tool with the UCM. All right, beginning to wrap up here. Gonna real quickly cover networking solutions. So probably a little bit self-explanatory, a little bit simpler to cover, and then we'll begin to wrap up. So See, I'm going a little bit longer than I planned to. I do appreciate everyone's time with us here today. So the GWN series, we've done a lot of webinars in the past. I'm sure everybody knows that it is our series of wireless access points and management systems. So the access points gives you the ability to deploy home Wi-Fi networks for remote users. Maybe you want to give home users dedicated AP just for the Office VPN, or to utilize a specific network, Office network remotely. Maybe in that case, you don't, the home user or the business doesn't want remote workers to be using home Wi-Fi networks. Maybe they want them on the Office VPN or the specific Office network. This would give you very cost-effective, easy to use, easy to set up devices to deploy that. Gives you the ability to manage those to deploy and manage those remotely with our GWN Cloud, which is essentially a management platform, not essentially, it is our management platform for our Wi-Fi access points. Gives you the ability to manage APs and Wi-Fi networks on our APs in multiple different locations. It's a fully free platform. Currently, I believe there's pretty much no limit in terms of how many APs and networks you can deploy with it. These are compatible with VPN networks, and one great reason you might deploy these in a home environment is if you are deploying our remote Wi-Fi voice or video devices. The GWN series APs give you the ability to use that QoS feature to optimize, or basically to tell the access point to always prioritize the voice or video calls to those voice or video endpoints on the network over everything else. And these remotely used APs can then be taken back to the office later to expand the office network, as an example. One specific product that I would say, and I think we all think is really ideal for, almost built for home offices, is our GWN 7602. That was released, I want to say in February. Essentially, so why it's great for home office is it is a Wi-Fi access point with a 4-port Ethernet switch built in. So it gives you an AP, really cost-effective AP that supports up to 80 clients, gives you a 100-meter range in terms of the Wi-Fi signal, but it also has a 4-port switch built into it so that you can directly connect an IP phone, a computer, a TV, anything else. So that device, in my opinion, it's almost built specifically for the home office. Great for hotels as well, but gives you the AP and the Ethernet switch built into it. So for deploying remote Wi-Fi networks, deploying remote VPN networks, for building or being able to really optimize home Wi-Fi networks to work with to prioritize voice and video calls, our GWN series, GWN Cloud for the management platform is a great option. All right, so with that pretty much wraps up what I had planned here for today's webinar. I got a couple of slides I'm just going to go through here real fast, just because I know we went a little bit longer than I had expected, but just to kind of wrap it up once again, we offer such a wide variety of solutions, and everything that we offer, most of the stuff that you're already familiar with, can be used and just used in a slightly different way and thought about in a slightly different way to create remote environments. A lot of these solutions are great for moving between the office and for home. Everything from meetings and conferencing solutions to traditional voice and video communications to back-end networking, and also device management, which you see here on the screen. Again, pretty much everything that you're going to need to set up a remote communication platform for a business, web meetings and video conferences, whether you need cloud and just simple endpoints to add to existing platforms, or on-premise remote VoIP solutions, whether it be voice or video devices, mobile apps, a whole platform with our UCM series, the ability to deploy remote Wi-Fi access or remote VPNs and manage those with our GWN series, and GDMS, the Grandstream device management system, to manage the whole platform. And with that, that wraps up what I had scheduled or planned to cover here for today. As I mentioned, went a little bit longer than I had planned to, so do appreciate everybody's patience. Hopefully you found the material worthwhile. It's been one of the most popular webinar topics that we've had in a long time. I know a lot of people are looking for this type of information, how to adjust to kind of create and adapt to these remote environments. And I guess what we'll leave you with is it is a lot simpler than you think. It's a lot of the stuff that you already are familiar with, just being used in a different way. And at Grandstream and paired up with our friends at Streakwave, we're here to help. And with that, I will turn it over to Angela for the question and answer.
Yes, thank you, Phil. There are a few questions that have come up and during your presentation. This one goes back to the IPv10. They're asking, can the IPv10 support multi-tenant?
Hugh, are you on? I think Hugh might be able to answer that question better than I.
It's not built for multi-tenant purposes, but we have a lot of people that do use it for that. And the reason why I say that it's not built for multi-tenant is that although you can customize the interface, it'll be the same interface for every user. So if that's okay, then the answer would be yes. Like you can create different accounts for different tenants, have them only control or have access to devices and logs and recordings that pertain to them. So if the customization of if they're okay with using just a single interface, then it'll be just fine.
Okay, great. The next question that came up is, if when using OpenVPN on the phone, can the PC port on the phone be configured to utilize the same VPN connection for whatever device you connect to that PC port?
Yeah, the answer is yes. You can have it as part of the same VLAN, or in most cases as a pass-through. It'll work. But you can also create it as a separate VLAN as well. But if you just leave it as pass-through, the connected device to that second Ethernet port, whether it be a PC or a laptop, can send traffic through that VPN connection.
All right, perfect. Next question we have, any plans to offer UCM as a virtual machine or add full multi-tenant support?
I think you can jump in on this one too, but not specifically as a cloud platform at the moment. We're looking to enhance future UCMs to have options that would be like a video conferencing support, for example, that might speak a little bit to more of a cloud solution, but not predominantly putting, there's, I believe, no plan at the moment to put it on the cloud, for example. Maybe Hugh can expand on that if I said anything incorrectly or missed anything.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. We don't have any immediate plans to offer the UCM as a virtual machine or a software package at the moment. It's strictly a hardware appliance. I mean, it's very political, I guess, but there's really nothing stopping us from doing it. But I think from a business strategy standpoint, we're going to keep it as a hardware appliance for the moment.
Great, thank you. Next questions we have are there any advantages to using Grandstream's AP with your Wi-Fi endpoints?
I think part of it is the QoS that I mentioned earlier that our APs have that would allow you to can basically prioritize voice or video calls to endpoints through those devices. I believe that our WP series specifically, the cordless Wi-Fi phones, when they connect to a GWN series device, they're actually able to auto adjust the QoS of the device to prioritize calls through that. There's also a couple other features that our WP series offers specifically that allows our GWN series to basically to share the information of a WP series client with all access points on the network to just make roaming a lot easier, to exchange the security information so that roaming is a lot more seamless from AP to AP. So yeah, they'll work with any third-party APs, but as I just mentioned, there are definitely some advantages to using ours over others.
Perfect, thanks. And so this one is more, I'm not sure if we can help answer it now or maybe need to take it offline with the customer, but they're asking that they had purchased a device, the DP730. So they're realizing that there's some battery life and some ring volume issues. Who can they actually talk to address that, to troubleshoot it?
Yeah, they can. I think the best route to get that resolved would be to firstly create a ticket on our help desk. If they haven't already registered as a partner, I would recommend registering as a partner on partnerconnect.grandstream.com. That way, the issues that they have reported will be looked at a higher priority than just the general public.
Great, thank you. Well, it looks like that's all the time that we have and all the questions that we do have. If there are any questions that still arise, please don't hesitate to reach out to either StreakWave or Grandstream directly. We will be sending out this link through a mailer, so you can always revert back to this presentation, and it'll be posted on our YouTube channel. Again, thank you, Phil, Chris, and Hugh from Grandstream, and everyone that attended. Is there any last minute things that you wanted to add on, Phil, Hugh, or Chris?
I got nothing. Like you said, thanks everyone for joining. If there's anything we can do to help you understand or to help out with, implementing these or deploying these in a more remote fashion, obviously it's a different way that we're approaching this, than traditionally. So reach out. We're here to help. Just want to send our best wishes out to everyone. Hope you're all staying healthy and safe, and same to your friends, family, and coworkers.
Thank you all. Have a great day.